All right, hello everybody, and welcome to how we're going to make characters on Demiplane for our upcoming Ancilla game. So, when you come to Demiplane, if you have your own Demiplane account, this is it. But if you're on Roll20 and you have a character sheet, what you will end up looking at will be something like this. And you will need to create a character. I'm going to delete this character because we're going to start from scratch so you can see how it's done. Um, when you have access to my Demiplane, which you will through Roll20, you will have access to all the released books at this time. However, they just released a new book, not physically yet, but on the PDF for the Succubus Club, which has some more stuff in it. If you own the book, you're welcome to type in various character flaws or whatever. I'll show you how to do that. So you will either have a character assigned to you, or you can go to create a character. There you go. And it will bring you to this screen after it loads. All right, so this screen will take you step by step through character creation. We are, and then on the right hand side of the screen, it's got Vampire the Masquerade information. You have pre-generated characters. We're not using those. It shows you getting started, 2 steps, and then 36 steps, and then it'll just keep doing that. So if we're going to scroll down, we're going to create a name. We're going to call him Dravidius because that's what all my favorite characters are called. Sea of Time is set to the core book initially. By default, you could do Childer, Neonate, or Ancilla. And if you pick Ancilla right now, it will give you, you'll see 35 XP pop up there. Now, you can do that in our upcoming game. But if you want a deeper experience, then go down past the portraits and select preferences. I'll do that in just a second. So, Ancilla Basic, you get +2 blood potency, 2 points of advantages, 2 points of flaws, and you lose a humanity. And you get 35 XP. Not too horrible. You start with humanity 6. But we're going to go to preferences, and this is what I would suggest you do. Recommend go to preferences. In memoriam, yes, click that. And then go back up and click Sea of Time, and now you'll see 3 more levels of Ancilla. There's 12th generation, 10th or 11th or 9th or 8th. I don't care which one you play. Let's go. If you pick 12th generation, you start at blood potency 1, 8 dots of starting advantages, 12 experience points to spend on skills. If you go to 10th or 11th, you'll start at blood potency 2 with 8 dots of starting advantage, 3 dots of starting flaws. And if you go to blood potent 9th or 8th, you'll start at blood potency 3, 5 dots of starting flaws, and you can choose right here to sacrifice 1 humanity for 2 dots of starting advantages. Let's do that. There we go. And you can upload your portrait here, or you can choose one of these. Let's go with blah, blah, blah. I don't like any of their initial portraits. That one kind of looks like Wolverine. Um, I think that's supposed to be a La Sombra. I don't like it. But I don't really like any of these. This was my portrait for Nicola, which is one of my favorite characters. We'll go with that one. All right, and then you hit begin. All right, now you get to pick a clan. Right here, it's got all the clans. Here's information. Over here is about various clans, and if you select a clan, like Banu Hakim, it brings up the Banu Hakim stuff. All of this interacts with my content on Demiplane, so um, you can go through and read this, take your time, all that stuff. We're going to select. My friends tell me I don't ever play clans that I have tattoos of. Let's go with Malkavian. If I got to play another game, I'd probably play Malkavian or a Zamisi. Anywho, here's Malkavians, and it tells you all about them. And then you want to go select clan, and there you go. Once I select the clan, I can move on to attributes and skills. Attributes and skills. Placement, I can get 1 at 4, 3 at 3, 1 at 1. Okay, still you're just your basic character creation. So I don't really have a concept for this guy. I'm just kind of messing around. Let's go with a. Let's think about. He's in Scylla. Let's think about a Malkavian. Hmm. Let's go with a Malkavian advisor. Maybe he was a former seneschal. So let's give him 4 in charisma. He's likable. All right, 3s. We're gonna give him 3 manipulation, 3 composure, and he's quick-witted. And then a 1. We're gonna give him 1 in strength. That will be our dump stat to D&D this up. Now, Jack of all trades gives him all kinds of skills. Balance gives him all kinds of skills, but a little higher level of them. Specialist gives him a level 4 skill and then a bunch of 3s and 1s. So we're gonna go balance. So he is a former seneschal. Let's give him etiquette, insight, and awareness. Now he gets 5. So let's go brawl. You hear the dogs barking in the background. I'm sorry. I'm here by myself, so my wife isn't here to corral them. Leadership, politics, investigation, occult. That's that. Now he gets 7 at 1. So I just select every time I want to do something. I'll just select it on this section on the left, right over here, and it'll move the list. So I'm going to do 1 dot. Let's give him 1 dot of stealth. Give him a dot of intimidation, dot of persuasion, dot of streetwise, dot of subterfuge, dot of academics, and let's see, dot of medicine. Why not? We're just playing around. This isn't a hard and fast concept, just examples. Next, I select specialties. All right, so I choose a specialty. We're going to go with etiquette, and it's going to be Camarilla Courts. Camarilla. We'll just go Camarilla General. Then I chose academic, so I get 1 for that. So we're going to go philosophy. Well, I like theology because I am a theology student, so we're going to go theology. Archaic specialties, we'll get to that in just a minute. And that's all that. So now we're going to go discipline powers. Now I can either go focus or I can go strategic. Strategic gives me more discipline powers, but I get 2 at 2 and 2 at 1. Or I can go focus, and that would give me 1 at 3, 1 at 1, and any power I want at 1. We're going to take that one because I want 3 and dominate. And then we're going to get this one, and we're going to go obfuscate, and then we're going to go ahead and grab Auspec because I like Auspec. All right, now we're going to select our powers. Dominate. We want Cloud Memory, Mesmerize. Actually, let's go Compel. So I can select whatever and unselect it. And if I click on the space, it will lower the power down so I can see everything I need to know about it. Go up. I would like Dementation. I need Obfuscate 2 for that. Now in my games, so in the Raven game, you can go ahead and select amalgams without the prerequisite. So I can, even though it requires a prerequisite, I can still select it, and it's just going to let me do it. It's not going to force me to have that prerequisite. So don't feel like you can't take that. I'm going to go ahead and take Dementation as if I was making this for my game, because Dementation is great. And then I got Mesmerize, and then if I get more, I may get Submerge Directive. Or I could just say, well, I don't want Mesmerize. We're going to go with Submerge Directive. Since I have Cloud Memory or Compel. we can go blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to have submerge directive if I don't have mesmerize. So we'll do that. Obfuscate, and then it loads up with what I can get. So again, we're gonna ensconce. That means you can hide small items on your person with obfuscate. But we are going to go cloak of shadows. Silence of death is also good. Um, we're gonna go. Let's go silence of death because again, you don't have to have cloak of shadows to have unseen presence. I just don't like the rule, and we've used that at our home table when my friends and I are playing. So thanks to them for bringing that up. All right, sense the unseen or heightened senses. Both are good. We are going to go with heightened senses so this person can listen to stuff at court without any issue. All right, now what are they going to be predator type? So here are all the predator types over here that are currently on here. I like Tithe Collector. Um, and over here on the right, with age and status often comes comfort and convenience. The Tithe Collector holds enough power that the vampires around them pay tribute in form of carefully selected vessels. So it's someone else's job to worry about the masquerade. Anywho, this gives me intimidation or leadership. I gain a dot of dominate, nice, or dot of presence. And I gain 3 dots of domain or status, representing a domain large enough to share a specific position. Okay. And then I gain an adversary, 2 dot flaw. I like that one a lot. If I was either meta building or power building, I guess I would go for something that would either give me an additional discipline I don't have, or up one of my other disciplines like Auspec or Obfuscate. So I could go with what Bagger. What does that give us? That gives us Obfuscate. So I could go with Bagger. We could go with Consensualist, which would give me Auspec. So there are ways I could get whatever I wanted, but we're going to go with Tithe Collector just because I like it. So I'm going to select it. When I do, it immediately brings up the Tithe Collector stuff, and I have to select my specialty. I'm going to go with Leadership Kindred because I've already got 2 dots in that. And I don't find this guy too intimidating. Disciplines. All right, so Dominate or Presence. I can pick up Presence and get Awe. That's a good one. If I select it, then it tells me how it works. But we're just going to go ahead and get Dominate 4 because 4 dots in a discipline is great. All right, so now I could pick Rationalize. No additional cost. They now believe anything they do under the influence of Dominate as a result of their own free will, which would also work with Dementation. So when you have Dementation, casual conversation influences hides. Let's see. Victim finds themselves increasingly agitated as their inner demons bubble to the surface. So after I engage in conversation with the victim, the user can activate the power. For duration of the scene, I may make a single individual each turn, and manipulation must dominate versus their composure and intelligence. Conflict, causing superficial damage to willpower. A mortal who becomes impaired by this power experiences a nervous breakdown or psychotic break. A vampire who becomes impaired by this power must immediately succumb to a compulsion as chosen by the power's user. Anywho, I could go with implant suggestion. I think that requires presence, but we could, as I said, amalgams are not a thing. Ancestral domain. Have mesmerize. So Raz check on a successful test. The victim acts to fulfill the dominating actor's request. So yeah, we're just gonna pick. You can also go back and pick lower level powers. Absolutely. Forgetful Mind is a banger. Whole swaths of the victim's memory. It's a good one. Let's get that. And then Advantage and Flaws. All right. Now I have this as an automatic, which is Adversary, Primogen, or Anarch Revolutionary. I'll select it. Tells me what it is. Okay, so you would just write that on your sheet later, and I'll show you where that is. Okay, Oceans of Time. This is the big one. How long ago were you embraced? How long you were embraced ago? that sentence didn't sound right. Gives you a number of eras that you can interact with. So if you take 100 years ago, 1, 2, 3 eras to choose from. 150 gives you 4, and it gives you -1 humanity right off the top. And then 151 gives you 5 eras to interact with. Now, you'll see up here in the upper right, these are your base, derived stats. So if I move up, my humanity goes up. If I go here, my humanity's at 6. So if I was embraced up to 100 years ago, 1926, right? Around the Depression, um, that's what's going on. 150 or more years ago, you're getting close to um, other things. So anywho, like Victorian era, things like that. Um, Anywho, and I may be off of my time because I've been working all day and my brain is kind of mush. But we're going to kind of go hard mode, and we'll select this 150 more years ago. Actually, no, we won't. You know what? We'll just make it a little easier. We'll just do 100 years ago, just so you can see this, and I'll take some other options in here. So, I choose an era type: time of adversity, time of calm, time of intrigue, time of excess, time of violence, time of sorcery, and torpor. Each one has positives and negatives. If I pick time of adversity, I gain 2 dots of a background flaws, skills worth 12 XP, and 1 suitable archaic specialty. Archaic specialties are skill specialties that may not be relevant in the modern knights. So, um, trying to think of some fletchering, um, cobbling, hand making shoes, things like that. That is not super relevant in the modern knights. So it doesn't really help you a ton. And you could choose, this is an extra choice, to gain 10 XP points to spend on disciplines, and you roll a die. On 1 to 5, you also lose 1 humanity. Okay, so um, let me, and your humanity cannot go below 4 before the game starts. If it does, or would, then you have to get some flaws. So let's see. I don't think time of adversity will work. I think time of intrigue is good. And it tells you right here, as others jealously reached for your assets, you had to be too clever to protect yourself. I can't read tonight. So this one gained 2 dots of background advantages and 1 suitable archaic specialty. I could choose to gain another 2 dots of background and roll a die and lose humanity. We're going to select that. And right here underneath it, where it tells me what I can do, I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to roll a die right here. And when I roll, it'll pop up over here. So, roll a die. And details, that die was not successful. So, I rolled a 1 to 5, so there's that. My humanity is 5. Now, I choose my archaic specialty. Oh, let's go. Let's go. I don't even know. These are always hard because I just gotta try to think about what it is that they're archaic. Go academics, and then go alchemy. Yeah, something like that. And again, this is just kind of screwed around to teach you how to do this. Time of excess. Consummate leech, you indulge in every vice and even manage to overcome some of them. So I gain 3 dots of advantages to spend on bonding and feeding merits, and I could choose to gain 10 XP to spend on disciplines and roll a die, and also gain 3 dots of supernatural or substance use flaws. So that sounds cool. Let's do that. We'll select this. And here's our option to gain 10 XP for disciplines. We'll roll. And nope, no successes. So I rolled a 1 to 5. Every time I roll on this, it comes up failing. Yeah, I don't know why. It just does. Let's see what that one is. Nope. Nope. There we go. Got one. Anywho, let's assume we didn't. So I get 3 flaw dots. So I pick that. And Lose a humanity. Or, oh, wait, what is it? Or lose one humanity. Ooh. So let's pick 3 flaw dots. We'll keep that 5 humanity for now. And error 3. Let's go with Torpor. Because Torpor removes flaws. Remove 1 dot of flaws. You may remove 2 additional dots of flaws and roll a die and lose a dot from your lowest discipline. I'm not going to do that. But we are going to select this and remove a dot of flaws. So, Torpor, remove flaws. So I've got 5 flaws. So we're going to go 1. There's that. And it's going to update it right here. There it is. And then supernatural substance. Time of excess. Remove flaws above 6. 1. So just go 1. And then that's that. And then remove advantages for flaws above 6. So 2. So hit 2. There you go. Now I can, I think, let's see here. I can move 1 from there. And you just hit the, you don't type anything in here. You just hit the plus or minus. So like if I come up here and I do this, then I can click that. And that's taken care of. Again, I can do this and click that. And that's taken care of. I remove. So I think I should only have 1 supernatural substance or substance use flaw. Now down here, let's remove 2. Just let's remove 1. Let's remove this. Let's remove 2 of those, and that's good. Okay, so all of that is good. See here, 1 out of 1, 1 out of 1, 2 out of 2. We're good to go. I move to advantages and flaws, and right now I've got 10 XP, and that 10 XP comes from where I rolled and got 10 XP for disciplines. So now advantages. I've got domain status. Okay, and 2 other advantages. So we'll go down to backgrounds, and we will grab Haven status, and we're going to go 3, and look at that. That's 4. Time of intrigue. So that's my time of intrigue. Could go unselect that and do 4, and that's my time of intrigue background. Or I could pick different stuff. I could unselect that, and we could go, let's see. Let's remove status. Let's see here, merits. And so supernatural substance. And down here, I'll move the slider so you can see what we've got. Time of success. I need 1 supernatural substance flaw. So let's go to supernatural. What we got here? Blood bond is in many ways the antithesis of love. Enforces its own affiliation, but because of this, blood bond may create any number of complicated situations, stories, or romance. 2 master's flaw. 2 individuals can be bloodbound to 2 people at the same time. I'm not sure I like that. Let's go with substance use. High functioning addict. We're gonna go with. I only need 1 dot, right? Yeah, we need the 1 dot. So we're gonna go with addiction. Lose 1 die from all pools when the last person you fed from was not on your drug except pools. Okay, so there we go. And we're gonna say that's opium. All right, so if we look there, that's done. All right, tithe collector. Now we can go back here. There's tithe collector, advantage and flaws. Got that. And got specialties, so we're good. Go forward to 2 advantages. So let's go with just something. And let's say they were good looking. They're not repulsive. Remarkable feature. They're beautiful. Go. Those are my 2 advantages just that I get. Backgrounds for Time of Intrigue. So let's go backgrounds. Let's grab resources. 2. And then click backgrounds. And let's grab status. And I still have 3 coming to me from Tithe Collector. So we're going to grab 3 dots of status. There's that for Tithe Collector. And then if I take this off, you'll see that it gave me 2 out of it for my Time of Intrigue and 1 out of it for my Tithe Collector. So I could take more stuff from Status or Haven or whatever. Just so you can see it clearly without the extra math, let's pick something different than Status. Let's go back to backgrounds. And let's go with retainers. But let's not do retainers. Let's go with Haven. See what Haven does when we click it. So if I select Haven, good size Haven. We go up, there we go. It filled that in, okay? Now if I select, I can't select anything else with Haven. So let's go to take care of the Tithe Collector, domain or status, domain / status. Let's get rid of the dice roller here. So go back to backgrounds. Now I'll go to status. Select status. And we're going to go 3. That should fill in. There you go. So that filled in my Tithe Collector. Status / domain. It's not going to, there isn't a domain background over here. So status filled it in. And then you can fill stuff out on your sheet. All right, now flaws. I have 5 points in flaws. Because remember, I torpoured and then I did my mathy stuff back here in the Oceans of Time. Down here. Where I did my torpor removal, and then I removed flaws above 6, and I removed advantages for flaws. So I did the maths down here. So that's where those flaws went and came from. So I got to pick some flaws. So let's see some flaws. Backgrounds. I got adversary from Tithe Collector. Let's go with. Let's look at thing. So we could go infamy. I like infamy. Let's go with infamy. Select. Oops. Did it do it? Nope, I didn't hit it correctly. So there's fame. And now we're going to pick infamy. And you type in your reason. Let's go with let's go with overzealous sheriff. I can't spell. Overzealous enforcement. There we go. And I am infamous. Let's see. Trending infamy. That's way too big. Famous something horrible. Worldwide infamy. Now, we're just going to do local infamy. That's that. And then you go back up and you'll see there's 2 of my 5 flaws selected. Let's find some others. Let's look at the merits and flaws here. Custodian his old tricks, living in the past, grief phobia, Ashfinders, Bahari, blood ties, and your flaws are blue. Regular stuff is gray or red. I love Church of Set. It is great, but we are not worried about that. Looks is always cool, but I took beautiful, so it doesn't make any sense to take anything else. I've got 4 and dominate, so let's take blunt, ingrained, dominate, strain, enforcing your will. Vampires this fall cannot spin willpower to reroll social test. Ooh, let's take that. So that's part of the reason why that didn't show up as a flaw is because it's part of the ingrained discipline. That comes from Tattered Facade. So as not to confuse you, let's get rid of that because I want you to keep seeing how these dots fill out. So onward. Other. Yeah. Prestation debt. That's a good one. We'll select that. He owes somebody something. Psychological. Nah, none of those. All right, let's go back to backgrounds. So, allies. Let's select allies. Any flaws in that we want? Nah. Enemy. Gifted enemy. Deadly enemy. He probably got some enemies. I only need 2 more. Deadly enemy, and you click it, and it tells you. There you go. It's a mortal template. It opposes you. Blah blah blah. You can read it. I believe in you. So let's just pick that so we can move on. We'll pick deadly enemy. There we go. Now that is that. I'm not contributing anything to the coterie, and we can, Bubba. All right. Oops, I moved away from wherever I was supposed to be. Advantages and flaws. There's still one thing it wants me to do here, so I got to look. Bonding or feeding flaw, and it shows you, like if you just go back and look, it'll show you what you missed. So bonding and feeding flaw, I need to pick one of those. Is it a flaw or a merit? I think it's a merit. All right, so let's okay, and it won't let you move forward until you do it. So let's go to merits. Bonding. Was it a flaw? Go back to Oceans of Time. Let's see. I gain 3 dots of advantages to spend on bonding or feeding merits. All right. Let's see here. Merit. What's feeding? Feeding merit. Now it has taken. What did I take? I took addiction, beautiful prestation. Gave it status. Overzealous. Bubba's my enemy. So let's go with what's Vein Tapper? I like that. Yeah, you got to be private when you're feeding. It's like he's got pea shyness. Outdated preference. That's kind of cool. You prefer mortals who become impossible to come by. Examples include. Well, let's get rid of this. There we go. Quaalude. Oh, somebody sent me a text. What did Spooky say? Oh, Spooky. My friend Spooky got a martini at a place, and I'm going to heart her and tell her I love her. All right. I either have to capture and force mortals to fit with my preference, Always spend a willpower to feed. That's rough. But I like it. Let's go with that. Just for giggles and yucks. Here we go. And that should, I think. No, it didn't. It didn't like that. All right, well, unselect it. Maybe this is a, let's see here. 1 point. Nope, maybe it is a merit. There it is. It was a merit. So I took vessel recognition. And I can click it, and it says I can recognize when somebody's a blood doll. So now I can look, and there's all my stuff. And if I need to change something, I can hit remove, or I can click it, whatever. But if I slide the bar across, which this is the only thing I don't like about Demiplane, is this bar. Maybe it's just the vampire one because of the coloring. It's hard to see this. So you just grab it and move it. There you go. Everything is good. I can go to concept and lore. Now this is where you fill in your concept, chronicle, generation, any bloodline, true age, sire, childer, all that stuff. And then beliefs. This is where you do your convictions, touchstones, all of that. And then I'm skipping that because you can do that. Then I'm going to experience. And I have 10 experience points. I can spend 10 points on disciplines. So I haven't tried to like see if it'll let me spend it on anything else, but it says for disciplines. So I'm going to disciplines. And there's not a whole lot you can get for 10 points here. Obfuscate 2. I could get two dots in obfuscate or 2 dots in auspex. I'm going to go with the second dot of auspex. And then I'm going to pick a pack. Now, in my game, I would say there are some powers that even though their amalgam is not holding you back, I would say you couldn't learn it because it's something very particular like this, which is very salubri-ish. You're not going to come across that really very much. So I would leave that one alone. But let's see here. Revealed temperament. Smell the resonance of the target as well as any dyscrasia. That's pretty cool. But I think we're going to get premonition just because I like to move the story along with that. There's that. My 10 XP is gone. And now, barring the character history and all that stuff, I go to the character sheet, and there you go. It's got my Bane. My XP's been. I can click on experience, and I can see where I spent XP. So when I'm looking at your sheets in Roll20, I can click XP and see where that XP's gone. There's my humanity at 5. Health, willpower, hunger is 0. Any way you interact with this, just click it. Click it again. Health and willpower have double clicks, so you can do health check for aggravated or superficial, and same with willpower. There's my blood potency if I need to know about it. There it is. Just click it. It tells me what it does. I have no resonance right now, but I can click it and click the resonance that I've got, if say, and or cleric or whatever, temperament, fleeting, intense, let's say cute, and then I can enter notes. And then down here, it's going to tell me what each of these things are. Okay, so then you've got your disciplines and what the roles are for those disciplines, and whether it's rouse check or free or whatever. So he's got a good spread of stuff, pretty tightly focused into Malkavian stuff. Then here we go, merits and flaws, addiction, substance use, and I click it, and it tells me, what it is. This says merits no matter what. For some reason, that's a little weird. I had no lore sheets. So, anyways, there's that. Then I got a coterie page, which we haven't done anything with yet. But I can manage coteries over here. I can add members over here. There's my concept of my lore, my inventory where I can add items, and then a notes page. So That is pretty much it. If I wanted to roll off of this onto roll 20, I could just pick. What do I have? What is the discipline? Manipulation plus dominate. That's a pretty good roll. So I'm going to select manipulation, and it'll put it down here in the dice roller. Okay, and then I'll go to dominate, and we'll select that. Oops, wrong button. I want to go dominate. Let's see. Beep. Oh, wait a minute. I bet that just. And the dogs are barking. Clear that. There. So that is going to, if I just select manipulation plus dominate, that's going to, off the dominate discipline, that's going to add all my dice pool. Now let's see if I add a couple hunger. Add 3 hunger. And then I select it. Sorry, the dogs are barking. And I select this. There's my 3 hunger. There's that. And then my blood potency for the extra die. I hit roll. And there you go. Manipulation plus dominate plus potency. 4 successes. I got a crit, basically. And it's on roll 20, it would probably tell me that this is a messy crit. But I can re-roll. Let's see. We can do a willpower. Let us do. This dice roll is in my way. So we're going to do a re-roll. Whoops, there we go. So I'm going to re-roll. There's my 4 select dice to re-roll. So I want to re-roll this one, and that one. And I roll it. And I went up to 7 successes, and I just mark off a dot of willpower, and there we go. So it's pretty intuitive. If I want to roll, let's go Dex and melee. I don't have melee. Let's go. Let's take away Dex. No Dex. Let's do a different one. Clear. Let's go charisma plus leadership. There's that. And I get a specialty. So we can add one more for the specialty. And roll. 3 successes. And again, if I want to re-roll some, I just click the re-roll. Let's say I want to rouse. Make a rouse check. There it is. No successes, but it goes up. So now, when I rouse, I'm going to get 3 extra dice to the roll. So if I did that same roll that we just did, charisma and leadership, I'm going to get 1 for the specialty, and I'm going to get 3 more because I roused. Then I'm going to roll. I got 5 successes. Okay, so it's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory once you get in here and start playing with it. So I hope that this has been helpful to my players, and I am looking forward to our session 0 tomorrow. And thanks a lot for watching. Bye.